Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, while Ethereum is still forming this bullish divergence pattern, Bitcoin is now forming a new pattern that we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment. Definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is obviously still trading below this previous ascending line of support, which was sitting at around 27.2k approximately. And something similar can be said about the daily Bitcoin RSI, which obviously broke to the downside a few days ago now. And also, if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin MACD, this recently experienced a bearish cross a few days ago. And since then, we have seen a little bit more bearish momentum show up in the MACD and the price over the last few days or so. And as I've also mentioned recently on the channel, obviously the price has experienced a strong rejection from this significant area of resistance, still sitting in between around 27.9k to 28.2k. And this area of resistance is first of all based on the volume profile indicator, showing a lot of traded volume, a lot of selling pressure around that price range. And as we can also see here on the daily Bitcoin chart, we have previously seen two major rejections from this exact area of resistance, also proving this as a resistance. And what we can see as an outcome of the last two times where the price of Bitcoin rejected from that area of resistance was essentially a retracement back down towards this significant area of support. And both of these previous times, we actually saw a perfect bounce from that area of support where there's a lot of buying pressure, a lot of demands for Bitcoin in that price range. And this area of support is mainly based on this volume profile indicator on the daily time frame, which is sitting in between around 24.3k approximately to 25k. And so once again, if history were to repeat and we do see another retracement back down towards that level, there should be a lot of buying pressure at around 24 to 25k. But obviously between now and then, there are other levels of short-term support that we need to pay attention to. And in fact, when you zoom into a smaller time frame, looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart, we can see some of these short-term levels of support. And right now, the price of Bitcoin over the last few days has been finding a bit of short-term support around this 50% retracement level, sitting at approximately 26.6k to 26.7k. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break below that level, then in that case, we have the golden pocket area of support in between 26.1k to 26.3k. And below the golden pocket, we have the 78.6% Fibonacci level of support at around 25.6k to 25.7k. And as for short-term resistance, we have this level at around 27.1k. And above that, we also have some more resistance at around 27.7k approximately. And obviously, over the last few days, we have seen a slight move to the upside, a very slight relief, but mostly choppy sideways price action over the last few days to help reset the RSI on the 6-hour time frame, which is obviously what I've been talking about over the last few days. So this is playing out now as expected. And this is likely going to continue over the rest of this weekend at least, and then potentially going into next week, we could see more volume hit the markets, which means we could see more of a move in the markets. But at least for now, just in the short term, talking about the coming hours, maybe over the next one day or so, we're likely going to continue to see this type of price action that we've seen over the last couple of days. But once again, while this price action is playing out, while this neutral to bullish price action is playing out, this is helping to reset the RSI on the 6-hour time frame, which can actually give us more room to the downside later on. And at the same time as this consolidation playing out, we are also seeing a new bearish flag pattern forming here on the 2-hour Bitcoin chart. But it is important to understand that at least for now, at the time of recording this video, this pattern is not yet confirmed because we have not yet confirmed a break below this line of support, which is sitting at approximately 26.8k. But if we do end up seeing a confirmed break below 26.8k with confirmation, like for example, candle closes below that level, or ideally flipping that level into new resistance, then in that case, that would activate this bearish flag pattern, giving us a new bearish price target on the chart. And in case you're wondering what that price target is, first of all, we could measure the move from that high right here. And in that case, that would set up a bearish price target at around $26,000 to 26.1k approximately. But if we actually measure from all the way up at this high up here, then in that case, that would set up a bearish price target at around 25.6 to 25.7k. And if you measure out those moves from the break to the downside to that first price price target, that's around a 3% move to the downside, or from the break to the downside to the second price target, that's around a 4.5% move to the downside. And so personally, how I would be playing this is if we first see a confirmed break below that level of support, actually activating the pattern and activating these technical price targets, then in that case, personally, I would enter into a small short position, not financial advice. And personally, I'll be placing my take profits at, first of all, the first price target and the second price target, and also short-term levels of support along the way in case we bounce at those levels. And as always, the point of invalidation for a break to the downside would be simply a break back above that line right there. Once again, as of right now, sitting at around 26.8 to 26.9k approximately. And so in the scenario where I enter a short position, if we first confirm a break to the downside, then personally, I'll be putting my stop loss just above the point of invalidation in case we see a fake out to the downside. But once again, that is not personal financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor and I don't know your personal financial situation. That's just letting you know what I usually do in these breakout and breakdown situations. And if you're looking at the liquidity heat map, the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin, we can see a lot of liquidations, a lot of liquidity sitting at around 26.4k to 26.5k approximately. And we can also see another group of liquidations, another group of liquidity sitting at around 25.9k to 26k. And in case you're new to this chart right here, we usually end up seeing the price of Bitcoin move towards these areas of liquidations, these areas of liquidity. For example, we saw exactly that towards the end of September, entering into early October. We had a major area of liquidations, a major area of liquidity sitting at around 27,500 approximately. And the price of Bitcoin, as you can see, trended straight towards that major area of liquidity on this heat map and actually smashed right through that area on the chart. And so once again, as you can see on the chart, we do not currently have a lot of liquidation sitting just above the price, but we do have a decent amount of liquidations sitting just below the price of Bitcoin. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And obviously the price of ETH is still trading below these previous levels and areas of support, now acting as new resistance. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, first of all, the MACD is still looking more bearish than bullish. But with that being said, over the last few days, we've seen reduced bearish momentum. And so essentially that is pointing towards a little bit of choppy sideways price action playing out, at least just in the short term. And as for the daily Ethereum RSI, obviously we are now seeing a bullish divergence pattern form and play out. And in fact, right now we've seen two daily candle closes actually help to confirm the bullish divergence because these candle closes have confirmed in the green. But with that being said, even though we have these early confirmation signals helping to confirm the bullish divergence, we still don't really have a strong bounce in the RSI actually confirming the higher low in place, because as you can see right here, the daily Ethereum RSI is still sitting very close to this ascending line of support, which by the way, the line of support is sitting at around 36 with the RSI currently sitting at approximately 38. And so it would be really good to see the RSI actually bounce a little further to the upside, perhaps up towards around the 50 level. And in that case, we can become more confident that the higher low is actually in place in the RSI, because once again, at least for now, we don't really have a strong higher low confirmed in place, because obviously right now the RSI is still sitting very close to this recent low. So it's possible we could continue further to the downside in the RSI. And so essentially what this means is in order to become more confident in this bullish divergence actually playing out, we still need to see some more confirmation, like for example, more green candles, ideally some bigger green candles up towards around 1580 to 1590 or closer to 1.6k in order to actually cement the higher low in place in the RSI to further confirm the bullish divergence. And the last bullish divergence that played out, we ended up seeing a bullish relief over the next few weeks. So once again, if we see more confirmation over the next few days, we could see more of a bullish relief or at least a larger sideways consolidation over the next couple of weeks. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, obviously over the last few days, we have seen a short-term bounce from this level of support based on this previous low, which is sitting at around 1530. And this is also playing out because once again, as I said a few days ago, the 6-hour Ethereum RSI recently entered into oversold territories, meaning just in the short term, we have have limited room to the downside, and we do to see either a slight bullish relief in the form of a bounce, or at the very least some sort of sideways consolidation to help reset the RSI back to the upside. And obviously this is now playing out as expected, and like I said earlier, for Bitcoin, it's likely going to continue to play out at least over the next few hours, possibly over the next one day, and then potentially moving into next week sometime we could start to see a bigger movement. But right now, looking at short-term support and resistance, once again we still have that level of support at around 1530, and as for resistance, we have this level of resistance at around 1570 to 1580, and above that we have the golden pocket sitting in between around 1.6k to 1610 approximately. But either way, whether the price is bullish, bearish, or simply chopping around sideways like right now, you can still make money in crypto by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.